What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video when we finally have some information to talk about today. With a brand new batch of treasure map characters, including new Sugo Fest, new free-to-play unit, but of course we have a new legend for this treasure map, and I know we've been receiving quite a lot of legends recently. It actually has been a little bit of time since we've had like a specifically treasure map restricted legend. I think the last one to come out was Nami and Carrot a couple months ago, but it is still strange that we're getting another TM legend that's another Nami dual unit. So when I first saw this, I was pretty upset because it's the fact that they should just make Carina the unit in general. Just, you know, scrap Nami out of the unit. Just make a solo Carina legend. I think that would have been way more exciting. However, after reading what this character does, I'm actually pretty excited because this character is pretty strong. So we've got this brand new legend with Nami Carina from Film Gold. Next, there's going to be, I think this guy's name was Ray's Max. He was also from Film Gold. And then the other treasure map rare recruit character is this character. This group of characters, this family, I guess, from Film Gold. I don't remember their names off the top of my head. We'll go through in just a moment. And then the free-to-play character is indeed Baccarat, Tanaka, and Dice. So we're going to go through all this information here. Shout out to Solaris for data mining all of this information for us. So shout out to him for putting in the effort, for data mining all this information for us. But unfortunately, we cannot view the full artworks of these characters quite yet, but we'll be able to get that tomorrow when we get the full data download. But let's go ahead and talk about Nami and Carina. That's the character that everyone wants to see. So they are free spirit cerebral across the board at every single form, which I think is pretty disappointing. I think it would have been awesome if they tried and strayed away from free spirit for a little bit of time, because it seems like every single batch is introducing free spirit at this point. But, you know, here we are again. Nami is a strength unit, Carina is quick, and you'll see quick is a pretty big theming because of Tesoro and Film Gold. You know, they obviously gave Tesoro the quick super typing with his super evolution. So all of the characters pertaining to Film Gold have this quick theming and free spirit cerebral. So let's go ahead and talk about their abilities. So first of all, this is Nami's captain effect. You get 1.2 health, Rainbow 4.25 times attack if you have a strength, recovery, or tandem slot. And then it says you get a 4.75 times attack boost if you have a G slot, 3.75 times attack otherwise. So it means at a bare minimum, you get 3.75 all the time, which is very low, very, very low. But then you get 4.25 with strength, recovery, tandem, 4.75 with a G slot. So it's pretty strange. Furthermore, Psi orbs are G slots, makes Psi slots into G slots. Then adds an extra piece of treasure from the quest and doubles the amount of berries that you earn during the quest. So this is crazy. This is a new buffed version of Legend Buggy. Legend Buggy, as we all know, at the end of a quest, when you clear it, you get an additional drop. This character will now do that, but obviously providing you with a much higher attack boost means that this is essentially the best version of Buggy that we now currently have. We obviously had the release of Legend Jack, and then we had Marco, which was a buffed version of EXP Captain, and then we had Momonosuke, who is also crazy in terms of EXP farming. But then, of course, you know, we had like Legend Chopper for cotton candy farming, and we had Film Red Chopper as well for cotton candy farming. So they give us new versions of these pseudo, like, mediocre captains, like these offset captains that are not really used to clear heavy content. They're mainly just used for subsidiary pieces of content to give you additional drops. That's mainly what it's used for. But the fact that they have somewhat okay multipliers means that you can beat more difficult content whilst also getting additional drops. However, there isn't really too much content that comes out these days that you really need to dupe drop the stuff in. Like, it's just not really needed, to be honest. So I don't really know if this is even going to see a lot of play, but it's an interesting captain, and the extra berries is definitely useful, especially with the introduction of the modification of ships. It costs a lot of berries, and I know people have been berry farming literally because of the new features, so a new berry farming captain is not terrible. So this is just Nami's captain effect. We can move on to Carina's captain effect. So it's pretty similar. Same health boost, 4.25 with quick recovery tandem instead of strength recovery tandem. 4.75 if you got a G slot, 3.75 otherwise, and int slots become G slots instead. So if you have one captain as Nami, one captain as Carina, sign int slots are always becoming into G slots. It's pretty cool. And then the same thing with extra drop and the berries. And then their combined captain effect, 4.5 if you have a strength, quick, recovery, or tandem slot, 5 times with a G slot, 4 times otherwise, Science G slots, extra piece of treasure, and then 2 times berries. So, captain ability wise, it's not going to be used to clear a lot of heavy content, as I said. but the dupe dropping and the berries earned is the main reason why people would opt to use this character as a captain. So captain ability wise, it's interesting, right? I like that they're giving us new types of captains. Let's move on. So sailor abilities, very interesting here. Resisting 2 turns of special reverse, and then also heal 800 HP at the end of the turn. So as a sub, they're actually pretty good. Their switch effect is also kind of interesting here. So you've got the normal swap, reduces slot bind completely on themselves, changes adjacent slots including block into G, so guaranteed G slots, changes the attack multiplier of G slots to 2x. So G slots are now basically counted as a matching slot. The interesting thing here is that, you know, normally G slots are only a 1.5 bonus. Again, just a bit of a rundown for people that don't know. G slots are not as good as matching slots, but they're better than neutral slots. So that's the rundown. So neutral slots are a 1x bonus, like a quick slot on an int character, for example, unless if somehow you're treating it as beneficial. Then you've got, you know, your G slots, which is a 1.5 bonus, and a matching slot is a 2x bonus. A Wano slot is a 2.5x bonus. So G slots are normally not the greatest because they're only a 1.5 boost, but now this switch effect generates them to 2x bonus, and it gives a 300 base attack boost for 1 turn that can be overwritten. And then you got the super swap, 5 switches, does the same thing, except that G slots this time around become 2.25 times multiplier for 3 turns, and you get the 800 base attack boost for 3 turns. Switch ability is pretty good. I like it. I think it's pretty interesting. Obviously, abusing this G slot mechanic is the whole focus of this character. Now, the special ability is fascinating because there are different specials depending on who launches it. So you've got a special for Nami, and you've got a special for Carina. So the first special is talking about Nami. So this is the Nami effect. Reduces the duration of barriers by 2 turns. It's very good. Reduces resilience and rainbow shield by 6 turns. Paralysis by 6 turns. And then reduces damage taken by 90% for 1 turn. And then gives your entire crew a 2.25 times attack boost for 1 turn. And it can be overwritten by other effects, and you become the dual unit for 3 turns. Great utility special across the board. I can definitely see this being used in a lot of content. Great utility, plus an attack boost. Like, it doesn't do orb change, but their switch effect does that. So it is obviously dependent on the content, but I think that generally speaking, it's a pretty good special. You've got the Carina special here, which is a bit different. You get -2 cooldown to all characters, and reduces threshold by 6, and increased defense, blue shield by 6, attack down by 6 turns, and then also you get your own damage threshold on your side of the field for 1 turn, and then it gives an orb boost of a 2.25 boost for 1 turn, and it can be overwritten, and then they fuse for 3 turns. So I love the fact that there's different effects depending on the content. Now, the way that this is built though, is it gets me a little concerned for the treasure map, because it's almost going to be built like, have one as Nami, have one as Carina, and launch both specials. That's probably what it's going to be like, to get all of these different effects simultaneously. And of course, if you're able to do that, it's very strong. But I do like the fact that this character can be used in so many different ways. It would be nice. Imagine if you get all of this in one launch, like all the time. It would be wild if like it wasn't specific to each unit, and just the whole special was both of these effects combined. It would be wild. But I think, generally speaking, this is a pretty good character, and I can see this character being used in a lot of content. Main reason for that is because when you look at their potential abilities, they have the cooldown reduction potential ability, reducing their cooldown by 5 turns at the start of the fight, when their natural cooldown is 14, 13 with expansion. So it starts at 9 turns naturally. It can potentially start at 8 turns if you expand this character. For a special that does this, that's pretty impressive. And remember, it's a cerebral free spirit character, so already good synergies there. It's a Nami character, so you can utilize it with Gear 5. There's just cool stuff across the board here. Now we can... The Rumble gets me a little excited as well, because there's some interesting stuff here. So this character evades Special Bind in Rumble, which is good, and 30% damage reduction from Driven Free Spirit. The Rumble ability will give your entire team level 4 HP, level 4 speed, level 3 recovery. Then, if Luffy, Zoro, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper, Robin, Frankie, Brook, Tesoro, Baccarat, Dice, or Tanaka, it says or, so you only need one of these other characters on the team, then all enemies level 3 defense down. It's a very odd ability, but it's just a good generic effect, and it's very easy to activate. And again, in Rumble, they're going to be Cerebral Free Spirit, so you could utilize them in a Cerebral focused team, or you could use them in a Free Spirit focused team, which is pretty good. Their special is fascinating. I think we need to see this in play to get a bit more understanding as to what it's doing here. So 24 seconds, it's very low. Targets 2 enemies with high special CT for a 40% delay. And then defense down level 4 for 15 seconds. But it does it up to 2 times. So you're saying that 4 enemies, or up to 4 different times, it's going to reduce someone's special CT by 40%. That is crazy. So the first hit, let's say if everyone across the board has like max specials, you launch the special, 2 characters, 40% reduction. And then it launches again, another 2 characters, 40% reduction. This seems insane. And the really cool thing is it's such a low CT that this is likely going to launch before your opponent starts launching their own specials against you. So this is going to be a really nice way to kind of screw up your opponent's strategy. And I mean, dude, if this character had some other classes, you could just think of the other teams they could be used in. It is a little disappointing that this character is relegated to being used in Cerebral Free Spirit teams. I guess if you're running a Rainbow squad, you could still use this character theoretically, because this character does still boost all characters at the end of the day. But man, this is a fascinating debuffing style effect. And not only are you just giving the delay, but also the defense down as well, just allowing your other characters to hit the opponents harder, because you're applying the defense down to the same characters that are inflicted with the reverse, and you do that up to 2 times, and it targets them twice, so it's 4 times total. But then you're also giving level 3 defense down in their rumble ability, so you're just, making these opponents squishy, stopping them from using their specials so that the rest of your crew can just hit them. So it's fascinating. That's all I'm saying. It's very, very interesting stuff. So that is the Nami and Carina character, the brand new Sugo Fest exclusive, coming in Treasure Map. So the next couple of characters are going to be TM Rare Recruits. So this is Raise Max is his name. So Raise Max is a quick driven slasher. Captain ability is whatever, just an attack boost, and he also gives a duped piece of treasure at the end of the quest. But have a look at his crewmate abilities here. -2 cooldown when it's reversed, so he deals with 2 turns of special reverse, but also resisting 6 turns of special bind seems really good. But then the special is like, what? Applies various effects depending on the character's support character's type, captain's type, character's slot, and current HP percentage when you launch the special. And that's all the info that we're given. However, judging from this crewmate ability, being able to resist special reverse as well as resisting special bind, I would hope that this is a really good utility special that can deal with both of those debuffs, because if that is the case, this has the potential to be a very powerful ability. But it's just we don't know what it does. We just don't really know. So until we see this character in game, we won't really have a real sense for what he's actually doing. His support is for any quick character, and it changes the supported character slot and adjacent slots into G at the start of the final battle. So this could be something interesting moving forward, but I don't see it being very useful. But being able to just, you could use it on the middle row character and you just get 4 guaranteed G slots. It could be useful because it's a lot of orb change and it's for free. So it's interesting to say the least. This character also does have special cooldown at the start of the fight, so -7 turns. He starts at 20 turns though, which is the crazy thing. So he goes down to 13, but still 7 turns is pretty cool, and then critical hit. So yeah, the Raise Max, a very fascinating, very weirdly designed Treasure Map Rare Recruit. The final Treasure Map Rare Recruit is Double Down, Rika, and Tempo. I think that's what the name is for these characters. Double Down, Rika, and Tempo. Quick fighter powerhouse characters, and this character's captain ability is kind of whatever. Resisting 7 turns of special bind is very good. Dex slots are matching, and the special ability says that if you have an orb boost when you launch the special, it gives a 1.75 color affinity for 1 turn, and it cannot be removed by the crew or the enemy. That's pretty cool. Then removes all beneficial effects placed on the crew and reduces special bind by 7 and gives you a 2.5 orb boost for 1 turn. I think this is a really fascinating character. As long as it doesn't really matter what orb boost you have, it could be any orb boost at all. Launch the special, you get color affinity boost, remove beneficial effects, you get the orb boost, but also removing 7 turns of special bind. I think that's a really cool thing too. And the effect of the color affinity and the orb boost, it's rainbow. It's not for any specific color or class, it's for all characters, which I do like. And 11 turn cooldown too, and then what we say, yeah, fighter powerhouse, so not the greatest classes, I don't think. And then the support effect to any quick unit, boosts quick characters' orbs by 1.5 for 1 turn, and reduces quick resistance by 5% at the start of the final battle. That's such a good effect. A 1.5 orb boost for free when you reach the last stage. I mean, the 5% resistance is like kind of whatever, but yeah, this is cool. I think this is a good support, and I could definitely see this being used 100%. This is a really, really solid effect. No issues on my end there. I think it's pretty solid. It does have hunger removal by 2 turns. It's not bad. And then the rage effect as well. So that is the other treasure map rare recruit character. And then finally, the last character we need to talk about. This is the new free-to-play treasure map unit. So we've got Baccarat, Tanaka, and Dice. So this is the character we're all farming for in the event. So this character is a quick powerhouse shooter character. Captain ability here. Boost attack by 4.25, all characters by the way. Boost their attack by 5 times after you land 4 greats in a row. So very similar to Legend Tesoro. If you hit it perfect while they're the captain, you get a 30% attack reduction. So this character is built in a way where you want to continuously hit your greats. Furthermore, heals 777 HP at the end of the turn, and boost the amount of berries that you earn by 1.5. So this is a character I don't really see being used as a captain, but if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to use Guild Tesoro, maybe this could be something you could use. Probably not though, let's be real here. Sailor abilities are kind of whatever, but the special ability is fascinating. 7 turns of bind removal, heals 7,777 HP, reduces enemies' defense by 77% for 1 turn, doubles damage dealt to defense down enemies for 3 turns, but then during the turn you launch the special, if you hit 4 greats, reduces enemies' defense by 77% for 1 turn, ignoring defense down and immunity to all status effects. Pretty cool. There's not many characters in the game that can do defense down through all immunity, and this is one of those characters that can do it. Albeit, you have to hit 4 greats on the turn prior reaching this the stage you actually need this effect. So I don't see it really being used all that much because I think it's very difficult to activate. Not only just is, you know, the effect that you have to use it on the stage prior, you have to hit 4 greats, but it's also the fact that the defense down is only for 77%. So it's not the greatest defense down ever, but it is a free-to-play character that can provide you a 2 times conditional boost against defense down that goes through all status effects, but there is quite a lot of setup that is required in order to get this to actually work. I don't think it's going to be the best character ever. I think it's just an average unit overall, but it could see some play. What I will say though is this character has one of the greatest, well, I wouldn't say one of the greatest, but a very good support effect. So Carina and Tesoro receive a brand new support here. Once per quest, if you're inflicted with bind or despair, reduce it by 2 turns. Like, that is so good. The fact that Tesoro gets a new support, which is great, and then Carina obviously receiving the new legend, but then also receiving this support as well. One thing to note about this as well is that the level 5, it says 2 turns of bind or despair. However, level 2, if you're inflicted with bind status, remove it by 1 turn. So I would recommend keep 2 copies of this unit, have 1 character completely maxed out at level 5, have another one at this level 2. Because sometimes you only want to remove the bind, so just putting it out there, you may want to just keep 2 copies, 1 completely maxed out like normal, and then 1 at level 2. Just putting it out there, you may want to do that. But there we go. That's the rundown of all the new characters coming for the Treasure Map event. Nami Carina, Raise Max, Double Down Rika Tempo, Baccarat Dice Tanaka. Pretty interesting set of characters, of course, but, you know, this new legend Nami Carina, a bit of a wild card, you know, allowing you to get dupe drops, additional berries, different specials depending on who launches the special. Fascinating stuff. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this down below in the comment section. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. I'm that, guys. I'll see you guys within the next video.